Yeah, just education and cooking and fun and eating and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yep. We'll eat. We'd love to share, but kind of hard virtually. Okay, well, I'm going to share my screen here and we are going to get going. Let's see. Right there. Okay, so we'd like to start with a little question.
Let's give them a credit.
We can give credit. We don't have any customers.
That's okay.
All right.
Okay. We'll just
Lisa giving away a $10 credit for whoever chats this in, the closest person to chat this in. What percent of nutrients are retained in the freeze drying process? So chat your answer in as a percent. What percent do you think is retained? We normally only give the credits to non-consultants, but since we may not have any customers here, we're going to open it up. So if you don't know, take a guess. What percent do you think is retained? Like 50%, 75%, 100%, anything in between?
100%.
no guesses.
No guesses. Nobody wants to guess. Nobody wants to try and earn a $10 credit. So Linda says up to 90%. Okay.
Good.
Any other guesses?
All of them, 100%.
If nobody else does, Linda is going to go to Linda. Jerry says 100%. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So there's a 90 and 100. Are we like the Price is Right? If you go over, you don't win.
Maybe split the difference because both of them are really close.
Yeah, they're both
So I
close.
think I'm going to do 5 and 5.
Okay. Yeah. And there'll be more, but okay. So it's about 98%.
But what I need you to do, Linda and Jerry, is just type in your email so I know where to place the credit. So make
Yep.
sure you do that so that I can get the
Yep.
credit to you.
So we'll just place that in your account. We'll have customer service do that. So that should show up in a day or so. So yeah, it's about 98%, give or take, 96 to 98%. But they've actually run tests as they test the food. And then as it comes out, test it, and the nutrients, taste, flavor, color are all retained, which is really the amazing thing about freeze dry.
Yeah.
And why we love it. We're going to cook with it tonight. We cook with it almost every day.
Yeah.
Right. We use it. We've been involved in Thrive now for 13 years,
Mhm.
and we've been cooking and using it the whole time, and we love it.
Yep.
Um,
We also store it. So
Yep.
we do that, but
Yep.
we want to know what we're cooking with when that time comes.
Yep.
But, so we practice with it a lot.
Yep. So we want to talk just a little bit about the freeze drying process. You want to do that?
This is your deal.
All right.
I'm going to let you explain it. 'Cause
All right. I'm not really going to get technical on you, but Thrive Life is a freeze dryer. We are now the largest freeze dryer in North America. And in the next year or two, the goal and the plan is to be the largest freeze dryer in the world. And so we just opened a new plant in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That's huge. I think it's like 250,000,
No, I think it's more like
450,000 square feet, massive freeze drying facility
Right.
in Wisconsin. We have freeze drying facilities now in California, in Utah. The reason that Thrive Life has been so aggressive about expanding is because the industry is booming. There is such a demand for freeze-dried food. If you've been looking at over the last couple of years, a lot of companies have not even been able to get their hands on it. Freeze-dried food companies have gone completely out of things for months and months on end. Now, that's not to say that we don't ever have back orders. We do, but typically our back orders, we go on back order on something, and in a few days or a week or so, it's back. Where other companies, because they're not freeze drying their own product, they're at the mercy of their suppliers. Sometimes it can take weeks and even months. About a year ago, one of the larger freeze dried food companies actually had to suspend operations for about 3 months because they just couldn't get product.
Right.
So we're really excited because we control the supply chain. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. But because we really have so much control over that, When we do have back orders, they're very short-lived.
Yep.
And so we're really excited about that, excited about the industry booming. We've been, like I said, involved in it for 13 years, and can honestly say there's never been more demand, more excitement, more people interested in our food. If you haven't been living under a rock for the last couple of years, you know there have been all kinds of supply chain issues. They come and they go. It's toilet paper, it's water, it's baby formula, it's just always something. And those are likely not to get any better, which is probably a big reason why people are so interested in having freeze-dried food on hand. And it's in the news constantly, all kinds of supply chain issues, food shortages, plants burning down. There's just so many things going on. There's so much uncertainty out there that's why it's a great time to be involved with Thrive. Now, because we have our own freeze dryers, we're able to control not only the supply chain, but also the quality. And we have a process called the Nutri-Lock Promise, which is 40 or so steps that ensure the quality. And it's all kinds of things, but I think the important things to me are that they test for herbicides and pesticides when they receive the raw foods, when they go into the freeze dryer, when they come out of the freeze dryers. They're testing all of that. So a lot of people will ask, well, do you have organic foods? And we like to say, really, our foods are better than organic, because organic, it doesn't have as many controls on it as our Nutri-Lock food has. And really, the main reason people use organic is to avoid the pesticides and herbicides. And our products typically test zero, negative for any pesticides or herbicides. There's a very low threshold, according to the USDA and FDA, that they have to meet, but typically ours test zero. And so that's a really, really exciting thing. We work directly with the growers. So like I said, we control really the whole supply chain. We're working with multiple growers on every food. So if you're looking at something like zucchini, we don't just have one grower growing zucchini, we have multiple. And so if one has a problem with our crops, we have others we can go to. And so we're able to source all over the country, all over North America, and then bring the foods in and then control the freeze drying process so that really we have the control over that quality.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to talk about this part?
Yes. So Thrive is just simple, clean food. I like to say that we are the Whole Foods of the industry. We like to package our stuff singly, so strawberries all in one can. You'll get a lot of companies that mix their foods with a lot of salts. Strawberries is just strawberries, just clean, healthy, and then you get to mix them as you like them. And I like that. And you can see we have no added sugars, no added salts, gluten-free. We have a non-GMO, all of our stuff's non-GMO. And then we have the Nutri-Lock Promise that like Jeff talked about. So we love it because it's such high quality food.
Mm-hmm.
So the benefits of freeze drying are your taste, which is amazing. That's why people fall in love with a strawberry. That's how I got started, is tasting that strawberry and the juiciness and the flavorfulness. I am from California, so I used to pick strawberries that were as big as your fist, and they're so juicy, but our stuff is exactly the same. That taste is there, the nutrition is there, the no preservatives there. And I think one of the biggest selling points is the 25-year shelf life. And so Jeff and I have lots of food on the shelf in our pantry, in our storage, and we know that that's going to last 25 years. So it'll probably be like long after we've passed this world, our food is going to outlive us. So we like to equate it to farmers market fresh. You know that people that go to farmers market, they pick that right like the night before or 2 nights before, and then they take it to market. And that's why the blueberries and blackberries and things like that are so, you can just smell them in the air, right? Well, that's what we do. We tell our farmers, leave those blueberries on till they are at the peak of ripeness. So all of that nutrients gets into our food and it is passed on to you. The freeze drying state, where it goes into the freeze dryers, and that sublimation happens where it extracts the water. but your nutrients is at 98%. And you can't say that for dehydration. You can say it for freeze dried. And so it is equivalent, our food is, to a farmer's market fresh.
Mhm. So here's another question for another, we'll do can't talk, $10 credit, okay, Thrive credit. On average, how far does produce travel to get to the grocery store in North America? So don't think like, oh, I live in Central California and everything's grown all around me. Think on average, US and
miles?
Canada, how many miles do you think produce on average travels to get to the grocery store? So chat in your answer for another $10 credit.
1,600?
1,600. Linda, that's pretty darn close. It is. It's about 15, 16, 1,800. It's in that range. But the bottom line is it travels a long way. And so, like Lisa said, they have to pick it early before it's fully ripened. That's why farmers market food tastes so much better, because it's picked close by, and then it's to your table within a day or two. Well, think of it the same way. We allow the food to ripen on the vine, and then it's picked and immediately flash frozen within hours. Then it's trucked to us in refrigerated trucks, held in cold storage until we freeze dry it. And that's why it locks in that freshness. So the food on the vine gains a lot more of the nutrients, and then it's locked in. And then that shelf life, that 25-year shelf life, means that it retains those nutrients for the life of the food, as long as it's in the can. So that's why it really, like Lisa said, it really is, we equate it to farmers market because it is that fresh. Just an example of, things you get at the grocery store usually are green, and then they go very quickly to overripe. And we call those bananas banana bread ready, because they have to pick them green so that they can be transported. And then by the time you get them, within a day or two, they're usually going brown. So, just some numbers, things lose the nutrition very quickly if it's not preserved, and that's what freeze drying does. For example, vitamin C content in spinach, 100% of that vitamin C content is lost by day 4. 40% of vitamin C content in pears, mangoes, and pineapple is lost by the end of the first week, and on. You can read those other ones. But bottom line is, as soon as that produce is picked, it starts losing its nutritional value unless it's either flash frozen or some other method of preserving.
Right.
Just a few more numbers, 52% more vitamin B. Sorry, we have something covering the screen. More vitamin B in broccoli than what you would get in the grocery store. 52 more phytonutrients in raspberries, just because it's picked ripe and then immediately preserved through the freezing and then freeze drying.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about taste.
These are a few of our grandchildren who love to get into the pantry, and their favorites are yogurt bites, peas, raspberries. So they love the Thrive foods more than candy, more than a good cereal. They were raised on this food, and so their palate is always craving it. So I love that the number one requested can of anything from Thrive is peas. So we love that. So
yep, they come in here and they fill up their cups with peas, and then go around the house, and then they drop them all over the house, and then we step on them. But it's all good. We rather, like Lisa said, rather having snacking on peas than on candy.
Yeah.
Yep. So should we cook a little bit?
Let's cook.
All right, I'm going to take over the camera and you take it away.
All right. Well, tonight I'm going to make some omelets, because on the September specials, there was zucchini. Hang on, we're not using that one. Zucchini, mushrooms, and onions. And that just screams omelet to me. Now, I'm a little weird. I make omelets in my waffle maker. So I'm going to do this kind of this way. So if I'm hungry for a waffle, we're going to use a little sausage too. So all I've done with the sausage takes more time than anything else. So always refresh your meats before you throw them in. The other stuff is going to refresh right up. So here we go. Now I like to use what I have, and I have eggs. So I'm going to use eggs, but you certainly could use Thrive eggs. The scrambled eggs are delicious. I highly recommend them. They're great tasting, and I use them as an alternative to baking. I use them in my baking all the time.
I gotta unshare the screen. 'cause-
Oh.
Sorry. Oh, where is this?
Sorry. Jeff's gonna
There.
unshare the
There we go.
screen.
Now you're full screen.
Okay, good. All right. So I'm gonna use 3 eggs. Got shells in here tonight. Can't have that. All right. So got my 3 eggs. And whisk those around. One of my favorite all-purpose seasonings is the Chef's Choice. So if you have some of this, or if you don't have any of this, this is a great thing to buy. If it's in stock, not sure if it's in or out. Okay, so you're just going to keep on scrambling that up. I'm going to throw in my sausage crumbles. Okay, a little zucchini. Now, these ones are like a little big for me. So what I like to do is just take them and just kind of break them up a little bit so they're smaller. That's probably good on the zucchini. And then again, give it a good whisk and get them all wet. And they'll just refresh in your eggs. What else are we going to add? Mushrooms. I'm a mushroom girl. You might not be a mushroom person. I like to crunch these up so they're super small. Just crunch them up and throw them in. I might need another egg. I will. And add another egg just to give me more liquid in there. And now I've got zucchini. And all of this stuff is on sale this month. The onions. Okay, I haven't chopped an onion in 13 years. Don't plan on going back. So it's just grab, throw it in. Just a little bit to kind of just add that oniony taste. And my grandkids love these onions because they really do dissolve. They don't ever see an onion. They don't want to see an onion. So, and let's see, the last thing I was going to throw in was a little cheese. So this cheese refreshes really super easy. So I'm just going to put a little cheesiness in there. And I can already smell that. It's smelling so good. All right, so I'm ready to throw this in the waffle maker. So this is kind of how I just do my waffles or my omelets. Okay. This has been sprayed with Pam. I'm going to put a little bit more though, just to make sure. And we're going to just slowly put this, hang on. All my vegetables don't want to get in there, and I want my veggies and especially my mushrooms in there. Okay. We're just going to let that baby cook for a minute. Yeah, we're going to turn it in a minute, but it has to kind of solidify on the waffle maker, and then we're going to flip it. So it's cooking up. I've got a little drip right here. So whether you do this in the frying pan or you want to do it in the waffle maker, works great either way. Okay, it looks like it's just about cooked now. So I can probably turn it on this side. And there's probably a little leakage, but it should be okay. Can you see? Making all kinds of noises over here. I might have put too much. I'm thinking, oh my goodness. Hopefully that doesn't blow, but such an easy way to cook because I don't like chopping and washing and prepping. So I love using freeze dried because it's just so easy and it just refreshes so easily. And so I think that's why Jeff and I, just the two of us, we just love using it for the ease of it. So, these smaller pantry cans are great for just keeping in your pantry. And if your family loves something, then just move on up to the bigger family size cans. So let's see how this guy's doing. Oh, I got a little spray. Ah, there you go.
Golden.
There's your omelet. All ready to go. So, let me get my plate. I think I'm gonna let it get a little more golden. Yeah, it could go just a little tiny bit more. But that's an omelet in the waffle maker. All right, this should probably be fun now. And if you like your super golden brown, you could just leave it in longer. And it usually comes out in sections. See if I can get the whole thing to move on out. And there you go. All right, we can go on with the presentation now. So I'm going to put a little salsa on this, and then we're going to have this for dinner tonight. Let's see. There we go. Put some salsa on that guy.
I always have to be the taste tester. So there it is. Okay, pork.
Right here.
Let's see how that tastes. You know, it's so nice. The thing that we love about Thrive is you can cook a meal, especially for two. You know, once you're empty nesters and the kids all out of the house, it's kind of a pain to cook. But it's nice to be able to do it in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Good. All right.
That has a really good flavor. This sausage really adds a lot to it.
I like putting a protein in there.
But everything is totally rehydrated, refreshed in that. You know, one thing people who are new to cooking with Thrive, they wonder how do I refresh it? And that's one of the things that keeps people from opening the cans and using the food. Is, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to refresh it. All you have to do, if your dish has liquid, just throw it in. Like Lisa said, if it's meats, it is good to refresh them a little bit ahead of time.
Right.
But veggies, you can just throw right in.
Right.
Soups, things like that, just throw them right in.
Yeah. You've got enough liquid, just stir them right in and they'll be fine. So yeah, a lot of people don't ever use their freeze dry because they're afraid. And that's why these little cans were developed, is for the people that wanted to just get their hands dirty with the food. I mean, it's fun and you'll have plenty of fails. But it's really quite easy once you get the hang of it.
Yeah, it is. All right, I'm going to go back and share the screen again, and we're going to just talk a little bit more about the food, best ways to get it. One other thing, real big benefit of it is just the shelf life, but also you don't have the waste.
Right.
Okay. If we're just cooking for two of us, like Lisa want to make one onion, you just pinch out a little bit of whatever you want and you use it. You don't have to go to the store and buy a pound of sausage and a whole onion and end up using a quarter of it and all these different things. You just grab what you need and throw it in.
Yeah.
So it makes it really nice because you can just use exactly what you need. So on the question of waste, we're going to do another question or another giveaway, another $10 credit. What % of the average food budget goes to waste? So this is I can't remember who, it's an official study.
I think it was a Harvard food study.
Well, the old one was Harvard. This is like the US Department of Agriculture or something like that.
Gotcha.
But what % of the average family's budget do you think goes to waste? Chat in your answer. I don't see any, nobody's given an answer. Okay, we're gonna give it about 5 more seconds and then we're gonna move on. What % of the average food budget goes to waste? Okay, Jerry says 40%. That is pretty close. Okay, we're gonna 32%. You know, it's a range, everybody's different, but on average, this was the American Journal of Agricultural Economics, a couple-year-old study. And I've seen this over the last 13 years range from anywhere from like 30 to 40%. So it's in that range. But, you know, for an average family, that can be around $200 a year. It's a lot of money that's just going into the trash. What did I say?
200.
2,000. lost a zero there. One of the things that we love is that all of our produce is in the pantry. It's not in the refrigerator going
Right,
bad.
right.
And these cans, even after you open them, are going to keep for a year or more. You know, a lot of these cans we've had open for quite a while. We just keep using them.
Drier climates tend to last 2 years. More humid climates, you get about a year.
Yeah. And if you live in a really humid climate, sometimes it's good to just keep the can in the fridge, especially if it gets a little bit, absorbs some of the moisture, you put it in the refrigerator, it'll crisp right back up.
Right.
So that's a little tip. Okay, so how do you get the food? What's the best way?
The best way is to go on our delivery service, which if you guys are consultants, you know what that is. And you get 15% off of the retail price. And so we love the free shipping, whether you're in Canada or the States, you get that. So it's a total of 27% total savings to you. So we love that we get wholesale pricing on the delivery service, and we love that we can get just a little bit every month.
Yeah, it's a great way. You know, my sister for years has been on the delivery service. And a couple of years ago, she said to Lisa, what? She said,
I now have a year supply of food.
Yeah.
Just little by little by little, she would get a few cans. And at the end of the year, she had her year supply.
Yeah, she didn't even realize that she was building up such a supply, but she went down to the room where she kept all her food and realized, you know what, we got a huge supply and we didn't even really notice it.
It's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. So the delivery service is great because it's totally flexible. That's not a long-term commitment. You get an email notification every month before your shipment goes. You can customize your order. You can change the ship date. You can skip, pause, cancel anytime. You're in total control. A lot of people think of this kind of like as Amazon Subscribe and Save.
Mhm.
And in some ways it's like that, but here's the difference. With Subscribe and Save, you decide you want to buy, let's say, a supplement, vitamin C. And when you just use it, Subscribe and Save, you're going to get that vitamin C every month or every 2 months or whatever you
want
decide.
it or not.
But with this, all you're doing is saying, yes, I want a shipment every month, but I want to choose what I'm going to get every month. You're not committing to, oh, I'm going to get zucchini every month. You're just going to say, I'm going to do a delivery every month, and then you pick and choose what you want.
And
if you want to skip,
yeah,
you skip.
And the algorithm that we have, so if you order milk 1 month, it's going to put it in your cart or your delivery truck the next month for your delivery. So just remember that the algorithm likes to grab what you purchased the month before. So that's why it's important when that email comes to you, get right on and edit. And I always like to shop the sales first. So I would shop the monthly specials, see where I am with those things that are on, because they are the most deeply discounted. You get about 40% off the monthly specials. So I like to shop there first.
Yeah. We also have something that's really pretty cool. If you're a consultant or if you're it's for customers, but you can share this. If you're a consultant, share it with your customers or your friends or family or anybody. And that's that they can refer people and give that person 15% on their first order. And the person who provides the referral code also gets 10% back. So as an example, if you give your sister-in-law her own code, she can share it with people. And let's just say that she has some friends who go in and order, and the total orders add up to $1,000. She would get $100 in Thrive credit that she could then use to buy whatever she wants. And as long as those people order using that referral code, she's going to get the credit for it. And so it's a great way to spread the word. You know, Thrive doesn't have a big marketing budget. The consultants are the way that they market, and we love to have people help us share the love. And so that's why we have that referral program. Really easy. Anyone can get a referral code. You just set up an account. You don't even have to purchase anything. You just go into the website, set up an account, and then you go to this page, refer a friend, and you can, your referral code is right there. You can copy the link. Or you can even just enter names and email addresses, and the system will send out an email inviting those people to purchase using that referral code. So great way to share and get a little credit. If you're not a consultant here tonight, get with the person that invited you to be on this call, and they can help get you set up if you're interested in purchasing or even just getting a referral code. Let's talk a little bit about being a consultant.
We think that being a consultant is the best option, of course, because we are consultants, but not only do you get to be your friends go-to, but sometimes you get to be your go-to in your own family. And then you start to kind of get out of that warm market and into a cold market, because people refer you. They're like, hey, my so-and-so sells this stuff. And so it's kind of an interesting thing, but you do get a commission check every month. And whether you want to work part-time or full-time, that's up to you. And nobody's going to bug you about that. There's no minimums that you have to hit or anything like that. We took all those out because we just felt like in the beginning when this was designed, we want everybody to be a consultant if they want to be a consultant. So you are going to get a little kickback on your purchases. You're going to get a commission check. You're going to be able to get the premier bonus pool. If you work hard, there's free and half off. There's fantasy getaways. There's all kinds of perks. So we love that.
Yep. We're going to just kind of breeze over how consultants earn money. If you are interested and want more information, get with the person that invited you to this call, or if you're a new consultant and not familiar with all this, get with your upline and they can help explain this. But residual income is something that really is, I think, the most exciting part about being a consultant. Residual income is just when you sell once, you get paid over and over and over again. Like I said, Lisa started Thrive 13 years ago. And from the very first party that she did in this kitchen 13 years ago, she is still earning a check from people who are ordering every month now for 13 years. And so it's pretty exciting that way. Warren Buffett once said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. And so that's the great thing about residual income. Life happens. And if you have to step back from the business for a while, the residual income can continue if you've built that up. And then when the timing's right and you want to step back in, you can do that. So
absolutely.
So really great thing to be able to have that ability to earn a residual income. Our commission plan is very balanced. It's not like a few people are making a ton of money and nobody else is making any. Whatever you want out of the business, like Lisa said, if you just want to make enough to pay for your own Thrive food, you can do that. If you want to pay for kids dance and football and soccer, you can do that. If you want to turn it into a full-time income, you can do that.
There's really a place for everybody.
Yep. So as consultants, we earn commission. There's two types of orders: a one-time order and a delivery order. We talked a little about the delivery, but if somebody doesn't want to commit to that, then they can just say, you know what, I just want to make an order one time and that's it. And we earn commission either way, but the company does incentivize us as consultants for signing people up to do the delivery service, because we know that's the best way for them to get Thrive Foods. And so there's kind of a sliding scale. And again, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but you're able to earn anywhere from 10 to 28% commission on that. And the company actually will do something where they double the commission if you do what's called earn builder bonus. Builder bonus, you earn points for signing people up on our delivery service and also for enrolling new consultants on your team. And when you do those things, you get points. And you get 1 point for every new delivery order in a month. You get 2 points for every consultant. And if you get 8 points in a month, the company actually doubles your commission on all of the new business that you bring in for the month. So it's a way that you can very quickly out of the chute, when you start as a consultant, start making, several $100s in your first couple of months and then grow from there. And so we love that the company incentivizes us just for doing the basic things that it takes to grow a business. Like Lisa said, there's other ways you can earn. There's a Premier bonus pool, which is really cool. It's something where the company sets aside 2% of the monthly commissionable profits and then divides those between the consultants who earn these bonus shares. And we're not going to go into all the detail of how you earn them, but there's lots of different ways you can earn them. There's people earning 1 or 2 or 3 shares a month, up to 20 or 30 or 40 shares in a month. And so it means you could make on top of your regular check, an extra 100 or 200 up to several $1,000s extra every month just through the bonus pool.
Yep.
You can earn override on your team sales as you grow a team. Like Lisa said, earn free and half off of the food. So like I said, whatever you want out of the business, there's a place for you. And, we have lots of people at every level, people who are just in for the fun of it, just want to share with a few people, buy their own food from themselves, and people who are really business minded, who really want to grow it, because it really is a great time to be. If you want to grow a business, this industry is booming. Freeze dried is something that people understand now, where when we first started 10 years ago, 13 years ago, we had to explain what freeze dried is and why anybody on earth would want to eat it, right, besides an astronaut or a backpacker. Now people just understand, and so it's really a much easier explanation and sell. Okay, so final giveaway. Name at least 4 benefits of freeze drying. We talked about some in the beginning, but chat in if you could, who can name the first person to name at least 4. And we'll give you another $10 credit for that.
Nobody wants any credit.
No, they're just thinking.
They're thinking.
They're thinking.
They're thinking. We listed them off earlier in the presentation.
All right, should we move on? Oh, there's one. Nutritious, no preservatives, taste. There you go. That's all 4 of them. Jerry again. Jerry for the win. Yeah.
The win. Very good.
Awesome. Yeah. So those are just 4 of them. There's a lot of others, but those are the ones that are, people really appreciate the most. So you want to just wrap us up, Lisa?
Yes. So guys, here I am 13 years ago, standing with I think I hit the rank of executive. I was so excited. I really had no idea what I was doing. I have never been in direct sales before, but here I am. I'm like, oh, good. I hit a couple of ranks. And so it's been a journey that I can say now is the best time to jump in, because like Jeff said, there was a lot of education back then. Now it's like people see this stuff at the store. There's strawberries and Special K. They know what freeze dried is. So if you have amazing food to offer people, people will buy it. Our sales have tripled in the last few years from COVID to now. It's just gone nuts. So get out there, have some fun with this, play in your kitchen with it, and have a great time, because I know that your journey will be just as impactful, if not more, than mine. So we thank you for spending about 45 minutes with us tonight. Any questions for Jeff and I, you can chat them in. If not, we're going to sign off for the night.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Guys, great
We'll
to see you guys.
Make sure that if you have any questions and you're a consultant, get with your upline, reach out to us. We'd love to help you with anything you have questions about. If you're just interested in purchasing Thrive or possibly becoming a consultant, get with the person that invited you. We have a couple of people on here that we invited. We'll reach out to you and see how we can help you. But we really appreciate everybody being here. Is there a question?
Tom wants to know why I didn't do the Thrive eggs tonight. I don't have any. They're out of stock. But I always buy them in these little pantry cans and they go fast at my house. So I use what I have, and that was fresh eggs tonight.
Yeah, they are really good.
They're
great
very,
for
very
scrambled.
good.
They're great for baking. They work great. But
So.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
We will see you next time. Bye.